Now we're going to start constructing our maze, which will just be blocks of cubes that we're going to change the shape a little bit. So just going to Game Object, 3D Object and Cube. Okay, now we've got to get it in exactly the same place as our character. So if we click on third person control, we'll get 243. So we need the same dimension there for position, so 243. Now height, I'm just going to make that 1 for the time being. And you can see the cube come into place. And 319 is the Z coordinate of the character. And I've got 317, so that's fine. So you can see the cube there. So at the moment it's floating off the ground. So I can just grab the green handle there and bring it down. And when it just touches the ground, it's about 0.42. So maybe if I make it 0.5, that will be okay. Just want to make sure it's not floating off the ground. It does seem to be okay. So I'll leave that at 0.5. And I'm just going to drag it over a little bit. Bring it down a little bit, and what we'll do is just adjust the dimensions with that a little bit so he's standing at the front of the maze. So the X, I'm going to make that 10 just for a round figure, and as you can see it's going the wrong way, so I'll take that back to 1 and make the Y 10. That's going too high, so it must be the Z, so I'll make the Z 10. That's what I want. Now at the moment he can see over it, so I need to make it that a little bit taller. So if I made the Y2, okay, it's high enough now that I might make it a little bit higher, make it 2.5. Yeah, so he definitely can't see over it. But when he jumps, he might be able to peek over it, and we can probably allow that. So I need to move it a bit forward. Just go out a little bit with your scroll wheel. So I'm just at the beginning of the maze. And that's my first block. So I'm going to rename that, and I'm just going to call it wall, where's my rename? Wall 1, so I can keep track of these pieces. Now I might make it a little bit thinner, so the X I might make it 0.5, or maybe even thinner still, maybe 0.3. Okay, so this is you have to play with the settings a bit here, because if you make it too thin you can go through them and it's a bit of a worry. Okay, now I'm just going to duplicate that because I'm going to need a wall on either side of him, so just right click and duplicate. Okay, and I'll just call that wall 2, and I'm just going to drag that out a little bit. Okay, so there you've got a little passageway for him. So let's have a look at how that's looking. So there's our character, and he can run up and down the passageway. Now he shouldn't be able to go through the wall because these are already pre-rigged, these assets. So he can't go through. They've got actually what we call a collider, box collider on them, so they can't go through. So what I need to do next is just to add a bit of colour to the walls, and in my example that I showed you in the first episode, they were sort of like a brown colour, so we'll do that. Now make sure you turn that off, the game preview, before you start adding anything, otherwise any changes you make won't be retained. Make sure that goes off, get back to the scene view, and you can start colouring the walls.